Hey everybody, welcome back to my horror. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these videos, so I'm not even sure how I do this anymore, so if I suffer from awkwardness or I don't know what the heck I'm saying, cut me some slack. I totally forgot how to speak to people. Actually, this past week, when I'm striking up conversations with people at work, I have no idea what the freak I'm saying half the time. I get confused and I want to tuck my head away inside my shirt like a turtle, so escape the situation. But it's a lot of stuff's happened since I last did a video, which I think was like a month ago, and it was with my kids, and so there's that. One thing I will mention, I breached out of my comfort zone once again. Once I did it with this video thing I'm doing with horror films. And the other time is, I don't know if anyone knows, but I do a lot of horror art. I did this sign right here. I do stuff like this. I make plaques, like, Mr. Pennywise right here. And I also do a lot of art prints. And so, but I've never really sold my art before. So lately it's been kind of cool. I've been doing some commissions for people. And I went to a conjunction, or it's called In Conjunction. It's a fantasy and science fiction and fantasy festival, and so it wasn't specifically horror, because per table it was like over $100 at Horror Hound and Days of the Dead, but I got a table here for $30, and so up in Indianapolis, and so that was pretty cool. Mostly like a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons people and stuff like that, but I don't know about you guys, but I feel like horror films are on the cusp of, like, they can go into sci-fi, science fiction, that's the same thing, science fiction or fantasy, it's whatever it is, and so that was a lot of fun. I actually got to sell my stuff and got to strike up some fun conversations with people. One guy came up to my table and he was like looking at all my stuff for over 5 minutes, and I was talking to him for a little bit about other things, and then I eventually asked him, I'm like, so what's your favorite horror film? And he said, I don't like horror films. I'm like, well, what the freak are you looking at my stuff for? But it's whatever, so can't go wrong with that. Maybe I planted a seed and he'll check my stuff out later, or check out some horror films, better yet. So I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought some stuff on Vudu. I saw Cronenberg's Shivers movie, the one where it's like the zombie apocalypse, but it's related to like sexuality. So it's really an odd film. That ending scene with the pool is especially crazy. Go YouTube that. But I bought some stuff, and so I'll show you what I got. Alright, I'm just going to kind of go through it. Oh, bye Godzilla. So some of these I got at Family Video. One of these I got at Barnes & Noble, so of course I had to sell a kidney to pay for it, but I finally saw Hellfest. Actually, I finished watching it just a second ago. This movie it's not the greatest movie ever made, but it reminds me of Halloween, and it's gotten me all psyched to, see the leaves change again. I want to start ordering apple butter and butter pecan ice cream with a waffle cone, and just, I don't know, wear a flannel or something. But there is a scene in this movie that involves an eye that, what's that movie? Zombie. Like, that movie can't, has nothing on this. Like, this has a crazy horror eye scene. And I'm not going to lie, I liked the ending as well. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's not what you think it's going to be. It reminds me of Black Christmas, but set in Halloween. So, there you go. I don't know about you guys. I'm not sure if I ever want to go to a haunted house where people would touch me. So, I don't know. I already feel like they touch me on accident, which makes me not want to go to them. But to actually sign a waiver saying that, I'm okay to be touched at a haunted house, that just seems straight stupid. Good grief. It's like every predator and serial killer out there is like, okay. And so, I bought Regression. I haven't watched this copy yet, so I don't know if it's screwed up, but this was a fun movie. It's directed by Alejandro Amenabar. Maybe I say his name right, but he directed The Others, which I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that is a crazy good horror film. That, the use of the music and the silence, it's a lot like what you would see in The Innocents. If you guys haven't seen The Innocents video, I can connect it in a link or whatever. But fantastic movie about cults, so that was cool. And now this one, it costs like $40 at Barnes and Noble because they feel like they have to charge a ton of money for even the smallest things. But still, I was a sucker and I got it. But I don't know much about it too, so I'm not going to pretend like I know anything. But this is an older film. I'm not sure. It's from Danish filmmaker Carl Theodor Dreyer, and it's vampire. And I remember hearing about how famous this movie is. They put it along the same lines as like the original Nosferatu and some of the classics from back in the day. And not only is it the movie, but it's Blu-ray Criterion Collection, so it has its stuff. But it also has the screenplay for the movie, and then a book or novella, Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. I'm sorry. If Sheridan Le Fanu was still alive, he'd probably want to rip my head off. But Vampire, I'm really psyched to actually watch this, and to have such a collector's item set. That's pretty cool. All right, next one, Guilty Pleasures, Resident Evil final chapter. Yeah, good. There's like 6 of them. They are not good movies, but holy crap, I have a crush on her. My wife knows, it's cool. I have a crush on her, and these movies are just fun. Like, they're popcorn movies. So just eat the popcorn, shut up, and watch the movie. So that was cool. And then this movie called Lizzie. I love the Lizzie, is it Bourdain? Lizzie Borden? Sorry, Anthony Bourdain. That's no insult to you. I just can't pronounce crap. But Kristen Stewart's in it, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But, it was, like it says, $1.99, so I bought it at Family Video, so I'll give that a shot. And you've probably seen my previous video where I was talking about how Hellboy is not a good movie. And it's not. I mean, it's crap, but it's my kind of crap. I would take that crap. I watched it quite a few times since I purchased it because the battle scenes look so cool, and really, I just like seeing my favorite superhero portrayed on screen. Even though the movie's not good, I enjoy seeing Hellboy fight a bunch of monsters, and it's gory, so win-win. I mean, Hellboy. So, went ahead and did the disc to digital thing, and man, that was an awesome deal there. So I'm psyched about this. Then the last but not least, watch Stranger Things Season 3, and I loved it. Apparently some people had a problem with it, but I don't know, man. I'm easy to please. I'm not trying to compare things. I just want to see crap happen and be entertained by it. And if anything, it made me want to watch the never-ending story again, so way to go, Stranger Things. But at Target, they have this, these different sets for Stranger Things that they're selling, like, at the time. And this was only $8, and it was freaking awesome. But it's the Blu-ray for the first season of Stranger Things, but it's in a cassette tape type case. And so, you have the back, you have the old looking, like the wear and tear on the sides, and then when you take it out, you have like a VHS. And so, I mean, everything, like the tiniest details, I freaking love it. And that's obviously, it's a Blu-ray, so you open it up, and then there's the Blu-ray right in there. So I just think that was, I'm like geeking out right now just talking about it. Like, I want to put it on just to relive some sort of, I don't know, imagination. But so yeah, that's some of the stuff that I've been doing lately. Now, there are a couple of films that I've seen recently, especially, that I want to talk about. The first one I'll mention is a movie called Perfection. This was recommended to me by a good friend of mine that I actually went to therapy school for, Hillary Ott. Now, I haven't looked at this in a little bit, so I might get it wrong, but there's this, in the movie, there's this prestigious cello school, okay? Now, and the center is around this girl named Charlotte, yeah. So Charlotte used to be a part of this cello school, and She eventually graduated, got out, and she went back to. Well, actually, she didn't graduate. She had to leave because of family problems. But eventually, she returned back to the cello school that she was once the ideal student. Like, she was the top student of her class, and everyone loved her. And she found out that they have a new student who's like the top student, named Elizabeth. And the whole movie, like, up until the end when things start to become a little bit of a twist, you start to see that there's a weird relationship that Charlotte has between her and the other professors, who are very creepy. It has this kind of Get Out vibe with it. But she befriends Elizabeth. They go out to, they take this vacation with each other. They form a intimate relationship, and yeah, when they're out on this little vacation with each other, you kind of sense that there's a little bit of jealousy, even though she's not saying it, between Charlotte and the new student Elizabeth. But she gets her tripped out on some drug, ends up not forcing her, but like manipulating her while she's under the influence of the drug to chop off her hand. So now, like, Elizabeth's career in music school is now like royally screwed, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to play a cello with one hand. Not that I would know, but I assume it is. And then from there on, you learn things about like why exactly. It's not just jealousy. There may be a tad bit of that, but there's actually another reason why she befriended Elizabeth, had her get her own arm chopped off, and all this other madness. Like, there's a reason for all of that, and it has something to do with the school and some of the evil things that these teachers are doing to the students and the things that they force them to do. And so, really crazy, really crazy. I will say, I don't want to give away spoilers, but Elizabeth gets her hand chopped off, right? Just like I mentioned. Well, Charlotte, like I said, I'm not going to tell you, through the story, she gets her own hand chopped off as well. And, like, together, they end up playing the cello, each with their opposite hands. So one's doing the chords, and the other one is, I don't know what the heck this thing is called, moving the stick back and forth. And so, imagery was really cool. So Hillary recommended it to me. She said she's not sure if it's horror or not. I'd say it is, man. Like, and with the amount of gore that's in that movie, that qualifies as horror, at least in my book. And so the other movie, maybe I should break it up a little bit. So go see Perfection. It's on Netflix. It's free, I guess, if you have Netflix, whatever that means. So yeah, that was fun. The next one is an ode to Swedish people everywhere. I went with my good friend Ben Priest, and we saw Midsommer. Now, I don't know how many of you people know about what Midsommer is. I barely figured this out when I visited my wife's family out in Seattle. They're very, very, very Swedish, and they threw us a Midsummer's Feast, which, it's the summer solstice, is what they're celebrating. And this movie, directed by Ari Aster, who, did Hereditary, which is one of the greatest horror films I've seen in recent years. It's about a group of not so friends. I mean, they're friends, but then there's this girl named Danny who, after going through a family tragedy, she goes with her douchebag boyfriend out to Sweden, because he was going to go with his friends, but they dragged Danny along, which I guess she's considered the buzzkill. But Danny goes with her boyfriend and his friends out to Sweden to visit a commune where one of the friends is from. And on this commune, it takes a while to get there. They have to travel by car, hike, all this stuff in order to get to the camp. But everyone's dressed in white, in old traditional Swedish clothing from way back in the day. And I'm telling you guys, it is authentic. I'm not sure if this movie is of the highest quality like Hereditary is, but I'm telling you what, this movie was fantastic. I would even say still, like, even though I liked Hereditary more, this movie is one of the better horror films I've seen in recent years. There are so many shots in this movie, kind of like Nosferatu or Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, that are gorgeous. for this movie, like in this movie. Like I want to get so much art done with this movie. I want to start dressing like the way these people dress. Some of the old architecture, it's gorgeous. And actually, I was talking to Ben Priest. His favorite show and my favorite show is Hannibal. That was canceled after 3 seasons. And if you watch Hannibal, there is some gorgeous kills in that movie and in that TV show. And they have the same kind of kills, the same aesthetics in Midsommer. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know if it's still in theaters at this point. I'm not going to check because I'm using my phone right here. But if it's in theaters, go see it. Like, it is an experience. Because they get to this commune, right? And they're not the only ones there. There's other people that are visiting as well. And they're taking part in these festivities, like, you know, the Midsummer festivities. And slowly you start to see things take a really crazy turn. There's 2 people that are a part of the commune that when they get older, instead of people getting sick and they die in a nursing home or whatever, they go on top of a cliff when they reach like 70 years old, and they jump off and they fall to their death. And there's some crazy, like the gore is really, really good. It's almost too realistic. But they fall to their death, and if one of them doesn't die, then you have some Swedish dude with a mallet go in and he kind of finishes the job. But, and obviously the American friends and Danny, especially with the traumatic history that she has, they're freaking out. They're like, we can't be here. We have to leave. Like, we have to gotta get back to America. These people are psycho. So, really, really interesting movie. And I'm not going to tell you the twists and turns, because you know it's going to be a twist and turn movie. It's like The Wicker Man. There's weird stuff going on left and right. But by the time the credits roll, Ben Priest and I were looking at the screen, and we were just, like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. We were looking at the screen like, what just happened? And we just, like, then stared at each other, stared back at the screen, and we were just, that was an experience. And he has a degree I think he has a degree in anthropology. I mean, he's a professor at IU, so he's at least studied anthropology a lot. And he was telling me about all these, like, we had an in-depth discussion about, like, cultures that are different of our own. Like, do we judge those cultures? It makes us take a look at our own belief systems that we have, like what would be considered odd or weird to other people that we do. And so it was, and any movie that causes you to have those kind of discussions is a movie worth watching. So I'd say go check out Midsommer, go check out Perfection on Netflix. And my son has been walking around in the background the past little bit. Do you want to say goodbye? Or, ooh, no, hold on. Do you want to show them the toy that we got for your baby brother? I don't think any of them saw what you just did. Okay, I didn't get it for the kids at all. I'm not a monster, guys. Come on. I'm going to put it up here with the rest of my crap. So, Declan, should we say goodbye to the peeps?
Before, I want to scare you guys.
You're scared by yourself, you little cutie pie. All right, everyone, peace out. Bye.
Bye.